All right, Mr. Hankins here with a new group of readers of Alan Zadoff's upcoming Little Brown release, Boy Nobody, which comes out in June this year. These are students from the Blue 4 group, Ryan and Shaylee and Olivia and CJ. So this time we have a mixed group of readers, and I thought this would provide a unique perspective on the book. So let's just start out. Did you know that you're among the first American teens to see Boy Nobody? And what does that mean for you as a reader?
Well, yes, we were aware of that, I'm sure. Everyone agreed. And that was really cool. It's kind of like an insightful look. You kind of feel like you're part of an elite clique, I guess you can say. It was pretty just fulfilling to be a part of that. I don't know, like maybe my goals in life are set pretty low standard if that's the case, but I just thought it was pretty cool.
You'd be surprised by people that fight for advanced reader copies of books. If you go to big conferences, you'll see people grabbing them up and filling their bags, filling suitcases, like climbing over each other.
That would be me.
You know, stalking booths to see like when the publisher is going to like start stacking those books up. So this is neat. Have you ever read advanced reader copies of anything before? Have you ever seen ever gotten an early look at a book? Did you know that even happened?
Yeah.
I kind of had an idea. Probably it was more of an assumption, I guess, that some people get to read it beforehand to make sure that it's okay.
So when we pulled the group before we started filming, we kind of said that most people in this group heard about the book. I did the book talk, and that's kind of how you heard about Boy Nobody. But let's take the question to the next level. What was the hook for you? What made you think that this is a book that you may want to read?
Just the storyline of it.
I think the description you provided for the book, just like the setting and everything, there's a lot of these movies coming out like Jack Reacher and everything, and we're just kind of in this day and age where the cool guy is the one who can do all this crazy stuff. So I think it was a really appropriate time for the book to come out, and actually like going through the book and everything, it really was something. And the way Zadoff wrote it, it was like he kind of put it in a way where you could relate with it in a sense. Not necessarily that you're a crazy assassin or anything, but that he's going through real life struggles and everything, and that was pretty cool.
For me, it was interesting because I've always been really big on world affairs, and I know that there are assassins here in our own country, let alone throughout the world. And so I thought it was interesting to see what if that was me. It's not something you can relate to unless you've lived it, but by seeing it through the fictional eyes of a character in our age group, that really held my attention. I originally thought the idea, teenage assassin, that's cheesy and lame, but second page of the book, I was going, I cannot put this down. 3 hours later, I finished it.
Oh my goodness. Shelley, did you finish the book very quickly, or did you?
Yeah, in a day.
In a day, really?
Yeah.
Now, wait, in a day you should be in school, right?
Well, yeah, in my classes.
Did you sneak a read of Boy Nobody in other classes?
Yeah, like IRP. I read the entire IRP.
Oh my goodness.
I was supposed to be at work, and I started reading it on my break around 1:30, and I just kept reading for the rest of the day. I took a really long break that day.
Wow. So the other discussion groups were talking about the flip side of reading advanced reader copies, in that now you have finished a book that doesn't come out until June, and know that Alan is working on the second book now, the sequel.
And that one's going to have to wait, yeah. And also, I'm going to make the assumption that this is going to be a movie because it's
Phenomenal.
I would love for this to become a movie, just one of those things that would just make a great storyline for one of the movies. So the fact that we have to, I guess, struggle with the fact that we're going to have to wait an extended amount of time for this stuff to come out is kind of tears on my heart.
I guess it's kind of like when the Harry Potter books started being turned into movies. You'd read the book and you'd go, oh yeah, it's going to be a movie, and it would be phenomenal to, be almost into grad school, maybe actually in grad school, and a movie come out. I read that in high school. I was one of the first teens in America to read it.
Hey, Shaylee, are you an active reader?
Yeah.
So you read a lot of books.
Oh yeah.
So where does Boy Nobody fit in the lot of books that you read? Is it the typical kind of title that you would pick up? Or?
It kind of is, because I read more stuff that's kind of weird, I guess, like teenage assassins and like dystopia and stuff like that.
So it was right along with something that you would read. Have you recommended Boy Nobody to a friend?
Yeah, I gave it to somebody.
And was this person like a reader like you, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's an easy book to sell,
Yeah.
right, to another reader. Olivia, have you shared the book with somebody else?
I mentioned it to a few people. A lot of people who didn't like The Hunger Games, for example, because it was too violent, but I thought they could be compared in the sense of teenage murderers. And I said it was a watered-down violence, more so mental struggles version.
Yeah. CJ, have you recommended the book to?
Yes, I've recommended them to a few people in my classes who were looking for books to read.
And are you usually a rich resource of titles for other students? Do you usually go around like doing reader advisory? Oh, so what's new? What's different? What's going on?
I just heard someone talking about it, and I mentioned it.
So this is like a new role for you. This is like, I'm CJ, book recommender, right? Recommender of good books, and I've got one for you, right? So we talk about going viral with this particular book at Silver Creek High School because we have 8 copies of it, right? And I saw one copy for about 30 seconds this morning before somebody took it back out of the room again. I've not seen 2 copies at one time since the beginning of January.
It's crazy because it's not only the junior class anymore, it's like all the other classes are really wanting to get it, and they're taking the initiative to come and actually make it an objective to snatch a copy because it is like in a way like a viral video that's gone crazy and everything. I couldn't hardly hold on to the book before people were fighting over it and everything. It's crazy just how quickly that everyone's been accessing this copy and handing it off to the next person. I mean, the book's path has probably taken a bigger path than like money has through like the country and everything. It's ridiculous.
I remember I always try to get to this class early, even though my third block class is history at the other end of the school. I booked it down here one day. I was the second kid in the room. I saw it on the board, the tray at the front of the whiteboard, and said, "Mr. Hankins, I took it. I'm holding it." And I hid it in my bag. So
Yeah, it's like the golden. It's like the golden ticket. You know, you're walking through the school like expecting to see Mr. Slugworth hiding behind the cafeteria window or something like that. Good. I lost the next question I was going to ask. I think I was going to ask something about why do you think this is? Why are people like wanting this book now that it's out there? What are people looking for?
Well, not only the fact that you can relate to it, I think there's just there's a little bit of an assassin wannabe in every one of us, just to be that person that can like do all this crazy stuff. I know I can relate to that, and a couple of my friends I've talked about it with, they too can relate to this, and I just think it's a really cool thing. It's just,
I think
the
the idea of knowing that this is something that is not available nationwide. It's not something, I can go buy that with my birthday money next week or something like that. It's, like Ryan said, it's totally an elite group that have access to it, and I think that's kind of almost seductive in a way.
Do you have more to say about that, CJ?
I don't know. I think also because they see so many people reading it and enjoying it that they want to see what it's about.
Yeah. Prior to this year, did you have a lot of experience with people talking about books with you, or just sharing books, or just saying, here's a good book, let's read this one, or consider this book, or...
Not other students.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just where we just set up this time to actually have a book buddy and like a book club per se. It's actually pretty cool because you always like go to your friends and talk about a movie or a TV show or anything, but never really having talk about a book and everything. So the first time that other people have read this book with you and everything, and I just thought it was pretty cool to be able to discuss it like as if you were to discuss something else that happened. So
You know, it'd be fun if you didn't think this would be too dorky. I think we need to get like all the people from the different blocks that read Boy Nobody and have some kind of Boy Nobody themed get together in May. I don't know what it would be. It'd be something like really simple where we, I don't know, have James Bond movies playing in the background.
This book has really brought a lot of us together. I've found myself talking to people who I'd had a class with, but I'd never taken the time to speak to beyond, hey, what page are we on, for the past 5 years. I remember my freshman year, Ryan and I used to always talk about one of our favorite authors when we'd walk home from school together, John Grisham, and I've found myself not reading books that the rest of my classmates are reading just because I'm on a different reading plane, paradigm, whatever. And I think having this advanced copy and everybody wanting to read it just because so few people can has really brought a lot of us together as a class, brought some of our common interests together, which is exciting for me since we graduate in a year.
Yeah, neat. So we got the advanced reader copy, and they were floated to us complimentary style from Victoria Stapleton at Little Brown. But when the book comes out in June, not that we're trying to put you on the spot or anything like that, but would you own it? Would you put the book on your shelf?
It's one of those rare books for me, I guess, where I would actually go back and read it. I mean, like I said before, John Grisham, I read that book over and over again. Definitely go back to one of these books. It's just a really good book. And going back to the discussion thing, I mean, I had one of my friends come up to me and say, like, I tried to tell Alan Zadoff to make a movie out of this and everything. So, like, the discussion has been extended to making this video. I mean, that's how popular this book has become amongst the classmates here. So
I follow Alan Zadoff now on Twitter and among a few of my other favorite authors and musicians and such. But I've seen a few posts where he's enjoyed Room 407, really liking the book. And I know I've had a classmate tweet with him on Twitter before, just talking about how awesome the book was. And there's this part of me that wants to make sure Alan knows that was an amazing book. You had better keep writing, and I want to see that sequel now.